Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Bonnie.
It's always so good to see your face.
Thank you. It's always good to hear you.
And it's always good looking food sitting there looking at me, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
What are we making today?
Well, tomorrow our church is having a little Wednesday morning breakfast get together, and we haven't done that for over a year. Things are starting to get a little better, so I'm making some things to take down to church tomorrow for our breakfast, for our brunch, whatever.
Well, that's nice that things are opening back up again and people are getting out a little more.
We're being very careful. We're wearing our masks. We're keeping it a distance. It's being served instead of people getting it themselves. So there's just some precautions we're doing.
That's good. That's at least something where everybody can be together for a little while.
It just feels so good to have that little bit of normal again. I mean, it's not normal, but it's close. So we're getting
it's getting closer to normal. So that's what we need.
So make sure you get your vaccines. Make sure you continue to wear your masks. Continue washing hands and all the stuff we've been doing because we want to keep it good. So
yes, we don't want to slide backwards. So
we don't.
I've gotten both of my shots and I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. So I'm ready to get out.
I've got both of mine and I still wear my mask everywhere and I'm still cautious about hand washing and such things. So I'm confident that we're on the right direction.
That's good, because I am too. So let's have some good food then.
Okay. Well, I'm going back to a standby. Anytime I go to, I've made this for people. I take it to breakfast, lunch, dinners. This is my banana bread. And I think I've shown this to you before, but I'll show you again because it's worthy of making again. This is so easy, and it's the most perfect banana bread I've ever had.
I didn't know we were doing banana bread. That's a nice surprise.
I surprised you.
You did. Okay. How's the perfect banana bread made?
I'm sure the recipe was on before, but Bonnie, I'll send it to you again.
Send it to me and I'll share it again. Sure.
Okay. So you start with bowls. The one bowl, you want to put all your dry ingredients. So in here, I have a cup and 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. And then to that, I add 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder. I add 1/2 cup of white granulated sugar. Right. And I add 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then I just mix that all up together with a whisk, just so it's all incorporated together.
Okay.
Okay. And then my other bowl is my wet bowl. So I actually have 2 large bananas in here.
Okay.
It says 1 cup of bananas. So whatever you come up with. Now mine was a little riper than what I like. I like the ones that you get marked down at the end of the counter because they're perfect. But they're a little ripe. And you mash your bananas. Now I'm just using a potato masher. I've used all kinds of things to mash my bananas. I've used whisks, I've used forks and all kinds of stuff. So whatever you have to mash your bananas.
To mash up the banana.
Yeah, just make sure you mash them up. So I've got my bananas mashed. To this, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. Now you could probably use any oil you wanted to. The vegetable oil seems to work well, and that's what the recipe calls for.
Okay.
So you add your oil, and I have 1/2 cup of milk. Now this morning I used canned milk, but you can use, here in a little bit, I'm going to use my 1/2 and 1/2. Like I said, I don't keep milk in the house, so it's a little more challenging for me. But this is canned milk, evaporated milk.
And you just use whatever milk you have?
Yeah, use whatever milk you have. If you have goat's milk, oats milk, whatever, almond milk. So I added 1/2 cup of milk, and I'm just going to stir that up. And then I have 1 egg. I have 1 large egg, and I want to whisk him up a little bit before I put him into my wet. So let me get a fork, and we'll just whisk him up a little, just to break that yolk up. So there's that.
Well,
Okay.
so far, this is a pretty easy recipe.
Yep. So you got your wet, you got your dry, and you just combine them. So I'm just going to stir this around to sort of make it together. They tell you to put a well in the bottom of your dry and add your wet. You can do it either way. I'm actually going to put my dry into my wet, because then I only have one really messy bowl.
Good point.
See, that is not so messy now.
Yeah.
I have one messy bowl. And then all you do is stir that up together. You just want to combine it. Now, this is called a banana nut bread. I made one earlier, and I put pecans, half a cup of chopped pecans in it.
Mm.
But this one, I'm going to put some pecans on top, because there's some people that can't have nuts.
Oh, that's true.
That way they can just pull them off the top and be done with it. You know, that I may not even put any nuts on this, come to think of it, because some people can't even have nuts close to what they've eaten.
Yeah, that's true.
I think mostly down there at church, there may be one person that just can't eat them because of colon issues. So I may just put some nuts on top, because you're going to make it look pretty. Okay.
Well, of course we do.
It's all come together. Let me put loaf pan. Here's my loaf pan. I've sprayed my loaf pan with Pam, just vegetable spray.
Pam on your pan. Gotcha.
Pam on my pan. And so I'm just going to scrape that in there. I have preheated my oven to 350. So we're going to bake this for 1 hour. Now, it was a little shy of 1 hour today. I could smell it baking, but I had my oven really hot before, and I think it was just the oven was too hot. Now, you can put these in the muffin pans. If you do muffin pans, you only bake them for about 30, 35 minutes, a little shorter, just because you don't have to bake it clear through. So there's one. Let me put a few nuts on top. And got to make it pretty, don't we?
We do. And that wasn't even a hard deal. You just threw that all together really quickly.
And you know, I've taken this to so many people, people that are not, that are shut-ins, or people that just need a lift, you know, a little happiness. This banana bread is just happy. Just happy.
Well, I'm just thinking about the times I've had a couple of extra bananas that were kind of too ripe, and so you could throw that together really quickly if you had some extra bananas.
Yep. So I put it in my pan. I'll bake this at 350 for approximately 1 hour. So I'll get that in.
Good job.
And then here's one already baked.
Oh, look how it risen, whatever you want to call it. That's beautiful.
Scrumptious. I went out in my yard today and I picked some purple violets. I'm sure we've all seen the purple violets growing in your yard.
I have a lot here in my center. Yeah.
I actually washed them because you don't know if the dogs peed on them or whatever. But anyway, these are actually edible. The purple violets are very high in vitamin C. So these are really fun to put, you maybe with your banana bread or on top, or even put them in a salad. They're very, very good for you. Just make sure you wash them first. But the little purple violets, very tasty. Goes excellent on a salad, high in vitamin C.
Check you. Okay, I'm going to go out in the yard and pull some of those.
There you go. And then someone the other day was telling me they make violet jelly. And I don't know how you do that. I'm assuming you cook them down and put a bunch of sugar in it. But that's an idea too. Let me go ahead and cut this bread. I'll cut right in the middle because that's the one I want.
Is it still warm? You got to put a little butter on it while it's still warm.
It is still warm.
That's the perfect piece of banana bread. A little bit of butter on it while it's still warm.
Now, some people like that crusty end. Not me. I like the
no.
Look at that.
The gooey in the middle is the perfect part.
It's warm. Oh, well, it's really good. Put that back together and keep warm till I get to it.
Good deal. So this is kind of like a brunch thing then. We're having a little brunch.
We call it a coffee brunch. So everyone sort of brings stuff. It's usually a bunch of sweet stuff. And that's okay. I'll eat it. Shouldn't eat it, but I should eat it. Remember, we just make smaller pieces.
Exactly.
But this time I'm going to take, it's called fully loaded cheesy breakfast casserole.
I love anything with eggs. First off, it's like my favorite food. And any kind of casserole with eggs and everything in it is perfect.
Okay. Well, you'd love this one. Now I made one earlier. I made one earlier, but instead of the meat that's in the recipe calls for 1 pound of bacon, cooked and of course chopped up, drained and chopped up.
Right.
It calls for 12 ounces of breakfast sausage. And you know, me and sausage, don't get along real well. So I made one this morning. Instead of putting the meat like that, I put in asparagus, probably about 6 pieces of asparagus.
Right.
I put in red pepper, I put in onion, and I think that's all I put in there. Oh, and then I shredded potatoes. The recipe actually calls for a frozen bag of potatoes. They're hash browns. They already have the pepper and onions in them. So that's what today. This is what the recipe calls for. So that's
that's handy. That's handy.
So it calls for 12 eggs. I've got 10 eggs in there. I've got 2 more eggs with my little blue one.
Yeah, I like that one.
So I've got 2 more eggs to put in. So we'll go ahead and put those eggs in.
So are you making this one with the recipe with the bacon and the stuff like that? Okay.
Yeah. This one's direct. This one is the recipe. Now,
the
recipe I sent you had name brand different things, but I'm just using off brands or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know that you have to use the brand names, but that's what the recipe called for.
Well, I have 12 eggs. To those 12 eggs, I'm going to do a half a cup of milk. Now, again, I could use canned milk, but I didn't want to open a can of milk and have most of it left. So I'm just going to use my half and half. So I put half a cup of whole milk, which is half and half what I'm using. So you put that together.
Do those taste the same?
It just makes it a little richer.
Okay. I don't know.
Every time you up your milk, you know, skim milk is very
like 1% or something.
Yeah. It has less of the fat and all that in it. And then the bigger, like your vitamin D milk, it's a little richer. And then of course your half and half is richer and your heavy cream is richer. And so you just add more. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up, break those eggs up. Okay, to this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I've already got that all mixed up here.
Okay.
So throw that in. That's your seasoning.
Mix that all in.
Your seasoning. I should have got a bigger bowl.
I was just gonna say how big a bowl that is. That's huge already.
Okay, so I got my eggs all mixed up. Okay, I'm gonna take a 9x13 baking dish. If you don't have a 9x13, you could always use smaller dishes, bake them, and maybe put one in the refrigerator for later or give it to somebody. But this is a 9x13 pan.
Gotcha.
It called to butter the dish. That makes my fingers all sticky, so I'm just going to use some. Makes it our own, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Okay,
don't touch it.
The dish is sprayed. To that, I'm going to add my bag, and this one is Ore-Ida potatoes with onions and peppers. I found this in the frozen section of my grocery store. Now these are supposed to be thawed. Mine's still a little cold, but they're okay. To that, I'm going to add my sausage and my pound of bacon.
Wow. That's
Isn't
a
that-
lot.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. You want to come to church tomorrow?
Man, I want to put my face in that right now.
I have 2 cups of cheddar cheese. So I'm going to add most of it, and then I'm going to save some from the top. Okay, I'm just going to mix.
You still have to fit the eggs in there somewhere.
I'm just going to mix this up, and so everything becomes combined. Now, how easy is this? And you can actually do this up the night before, put foil on it, put it in your refrigerator, and then the next day take it out, let it set for a little while so it comes to room temperature, and then bake it off, and you've got a casserole for breakfast.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Mm,
Now,
that
when
looks good. But I
when
couldn't make that at my house because I'm the only one there to eat it. So I'd eat the whole thing.
you could freeze it in little squares and then have a piece every morning for a while. True?
True. I'm not sure the eggs are going to fit.
Oh, they'll fit. Still, girl. Okay, now we just pour the eggs over top.
Oh, they're sinking down in. I can see them sinking down.
They are sinking down in. Look, all my spices ended up being in the bottom. Someone's going to get a spicy bite. I'm going to mix that up a little because all that pepper went to the center. Look at that.
Oh, it looks great.
Yum. Oh, they're going to love this. And then I'll have some of the vegetable one left. I think we're going to enjoy that here at home today. Okay, so I have all my eggs, everything mixed in together. I do believe I'm going to put some cheese on top. You know,
throw a little cheese because cheese is always good on top of anything.
Yep. And then this is ready to feed. We usually have 8 to 10 people, so it should feed that many. You know, it's not like we're making a meal or everyone's just taking a taste of it.
Right. It's just a brunch thing.
Yep. Okay.
Look at that. That is gorgeous.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's perfect.
It's beautiful. Perfect.
I'm going to put this in the refrigerator because I'm not going to be able to bake it right now. So what I'll do is when I come home, I'll pull it out, let it come to room temperature, and then I will bake it. And this bakes in a 375 oven, and it bakes 35 to 40 minutes. I put mine in for a little more than 35, and it was perfect. Let me show you the one.
Because most of the stuff was already cooked, right? You just need to make sure the eggs get cooked.
Right.
Right.
That one.
Mmm.
And this one, oh, I have red. Oh, I forgot I put mushrooms in this one too. If you like mushrooms.
So you basically could put anything in there you wanted, right?
Yep. You know, make it your own. I love making it my own.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I actually cut up my own potatoes today too, because I didn't buy 2 packages of that frozen. And all I did was shred up my potatoes.
So that one's a little more fresh.
Yep. This has asparagus, red pepper, potatoes, mushrooms. What else did I stick in there? Really, it was just cleaning out the refrigerator is what it was. With cheddar cheese. Here we go.
Cheddar cheese always.
Mm.
Now you're making me hungry.
I put some onion in there too. But that red pepper really comes through. I'm sure when I bite a asparagus, it'll come through too, but this is delicious. This will be perfect for tomorrow.
So that's more like vegetarian then, because you didn't put any of the meats or anything in that one, right?
No, there's no meat in this one.
Well, that's a good alternative. People that, you know, don't want the meat.
You know, I struggle eating enough vegetables, and this is a good way to get some vegetables in.
True, you can throw them all in there and you don't really realize you're eating all the vegetables.
Here we go. my banana bread. It's warm, Bonnie.
Okay, you know where I'm sitting right now.
I'm going to cut it in half so I don't have quite as big a piece. And
You're
then,
welcome to stop on down.
and then I have my water. You know, you always want to drink water.
Yes. Stay hydrated. We're getting outside more, so it's better to stay hydrated. Eat your nice little brunch.
Yep. And I did a fun thing with my water. You know, sometimes water gets sort of boring. I think last year we put cucumber in it, and we put all kinds of stuff in our water. But I found this little gadget, you know, me and my gadgets. You actually freeze. You put water in here and in here, you close it and you make round balls.
Oh, how cute is that?
You can see my round ice ball.
I think you could probably freeze like lemon slices in there. Or all kinds of fun stuff.
Good.
Well, aren't you being special with the ice today?
I am. I wanted more than water, and that's what that is.
One little gadget is what you had to have, a new little gadget.
Yeah. Things next week. I've always wanted just to cook through a magazine. So I got my new Martha Stewart Living, and there's some fun chicken recipes, and there's also rhubarb recipes.
Okay, Martha, I'll be Snoop next week, and you can be Martha, and we'll do something out of Martha's magazine.
Now, I'm sure I'll make it my own. That's what I do. But
well, that'll be fun though. We always like it when you make it your own anyway.
My girlfriend has rhubarb, so she said she'd give me some rhubarb. I'm not a big rhubarb fan, but there's a custard rhubarb in there. It looks really, really good. So
yes, I don't think I like rhubarb either. I really don't think. I don't really remember eating it ever. So yeah, I don't know.
I think it's one of those things, it sort of takes on whatever you put it in. If you add enough sugar, it takes the tartness from the rhubarb out. And I don't know. Everyone loves rhubarb. If you either love rhubarb or you don't. And so we'll see next week. If I remember. Yeah. This Friday, I'm going to go pick my sister up in Marietta. Her birthday is Sunday and my birthday is Thursday next week. So we're going to be celebrating our birthdays. And if you missed last week's cooking club, we actually went out and I bought cupcakes for my birthday. Yes. So I'm going to go pick up the cupcakes for my sister and I, and we're going to have a special meal and some lovely cupcakes from Lisa's Sweet Shop. The truck is going to be down in Marietta on Friday, and I will be there probably about, I think it's there at 10 o'clock. So I'll probably be down there picking up my cupcakes at 10 o'clock if you want to come down and eat a cupcake with me.
Oh, that'd be fun for your birthday. Your birthday's not till what? A week from, like, it's the 28th, right?
Yes.
28th. That's on a Wednesday.
Yeah. But we're going to celebrate a little early because my sister's is earlier than mine. So we're going to celebrate a little early.
Okay. But candles and everything. Candles.
These cupcakes are so good. I want to ruin them with a candle. Not only that, but how do you get, 30 candles on a cupcake, right?
30? Yeah. 30? Are you going to be 30?
Again. Yeah.
Again. Okay.
And again. Again. And again.
Well, I can't believe that either, but I'm happy your birthday's coming. It's always good to see you every week. You make me laugh. You make me happy. So I'm sure everybody loves to see your newest recipes every week.
Yep. And we're going to have some good food. And like I say, we're going to cook through that cookbook. Remember, we're going to stay healthy because we're drinking our water. We're getting our vegetables in. We're going to stay healthy, independent, and productive.
Yes, we're going to stay hip. Yep. We're bringing hip.
Yep. And get out, enjoy that sunshine. Take your shoes off, walk through the grass. That always makes me happy.
And do it today before it snows. So. Okay. Well, it's good to see you. Thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Look at that banana.
Banana bread. Oh, bye.
Bye.